while. And I have a special guest here. It's actually Mike Toledo. Hello, Mike. How are you?
Was crack-a-lackin'.
Not much.
My first podcast
With
this year, and that's with you.
Yep, exactly. So hopefully, good luck. We're gonna have good luck this year, and it's like gonna be smooth sailing, huh? Because last year was so busy. What do you think? Actually, tonight we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. We're gonna talk
You
about
only have 30 minutes, so don't even try to go long. Because
no,
as soon as that camera lasts on you, like hey, it's done. I only got like a quarter battery left.
That's right, folks. My husband said that we're on a limited time here because the camera battery is about to die. But here's the thing: I haven't done an episode in a long time because we were so busy last year. I had to put everything on hold. I think you did the same thing too, right, Mike? I just want to reiterate what we're going to talk about today. That's why I'm talking so fast, folks. We're going to talk about Mobile Tech Expo because every January, between January and February, we go to Florida for the Mobile Tech Expo. And then what else you want to talk about, Mike?
We're talking about gosh, the
We're gonna be
events, right?
talk Yeah, we're gonna talk about the events. We're gonna be talking
Well, we better hurry up because
at
we
the
got like
events.
5-10 minutes on each subject. So
No, not really. So why don't you go ahead and let the folks know when is the Mobile Tech Expo this year?
I don't have the dates. I swear, I'm so bad at dates. If I don't have it in front of me, I don't know. You know.
Okay. It's actually gonna be February 1st to the 3rd. But here's the thing, folks. Mobile Tech Expo is adding something new this year. They're gonna have like a special day. I think it's for beginner. That's what they said, and they call it Social Media 101. They invited both of us, and I think you have already a prior event, so I'm the only one who can make that Wednesday education day. But definitely for Thursday, we're both speaking. You know when you're speaking? I know I'm speaking on Thursday too, and it's going to be at 2 p.m., 2 to 2:45.
I don't know when I'm speaking. So I honestly, I'm,
Am I
I,
your personal
yeah,
secretary?
I've been so busy. Like we just got done doing this Rivian crazy repair. Congratulations, Joe. You did a great job on this repair. It was a big repair, so we're going to talk about another podcast. But training,
Well,
right?
congratulations to you too, because you were there the whole time. You know what I mean? You took like the good videos and
Oh
you
yeah,
put
it's a
your two
journey.
cents in it. I mean,
No, it's a journey. No,
it's like teamwork between
it,
you and Joe when
it
you.
was like it was a good teamwork. It was it was the big Rivian pay repair insurance.
Uh
I
huh.
think the biggest one, documented.
We're gonna actually talk. We should talk about that at MTE because we're doing a podcast
I
at
don't.
MTE.
Yeah, but well, now we're gonna talk. Me and Joe are gonna talk about Wednesday, so it'll be before MTE.
Oh, jeez, you wanted to talk to Joe about that Wednesday? Fine.
Well, it's because it's he's part of it. So I mean, like, so. Anyways, we've been doing that journey, but I don't want to take away from your podcast. But look out for that. That's coming. But as far as busy this month, I mean, gosh dang, I got students. We got a Tesla. We had to do the Rivian. We had to do between that and hopefully it's going to slow down the last 2 weeks. But I got 3 students I'm trying to train before we go to MTE. Taking a trip with flying down to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to meet me over there in
Yeah,
Orlando,
we're going over there. Yeah.
and then I'm gonna fly back. So yeah,
Okay. So here's the thing, folks. Tonight is just basically going to be like a quick podcast. I just want to, come on and record this and then put something out there because I did promise you guys something. So the most important thing that I wanted to talk about is like this big event that we normally attend to. It's basically like a convention for the industry. You know what I mean? We see everybody there, and people around the world actually attend this MTE. And we're going to be there speaking over there. And then the stuff that we're going to be talking about is really stuff that you can use for your business. Like for example, social media. The landscape of how to navigate social media. It's not just like creating something. Creating contents and posting. It's more. There's more to it than that. And then also, I wanted to talk about the past times, Mike, the holidays, because I know folks probably, it seems like everybody that I've talked to, they said that they were busy, on top of the holidays events and all that stuff. They said that they were so busy. I was just trying to like make it, like make it through the end of the year. And then I'm like, okay, let me see how I'm gonna make it. Sometimes I don't know, Mike. I mean, did I lose my temper, or when we get busy and stress? You're the husband, so you tell me.
I would probably say 2023 is probably it was a very challenging year. Yeah, it was 2023 was crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
find me back end crazy. You know what I mean? Not forward, not in the front end where you see the behind the scenes stuff. You know what I mean?
Uh huh. Are you talking about this? What happened in business, or like family, or
A
both?
little bit of everything. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got you trying to start college. You know,
Mhm.
I even started another college,
Mhm.
different college.
Mhm.
Right. Then you had, you know, the business aspect of it, what behind the scenes of that.
Mhm.
It was 2024 wasn't going to, it was starting off with the first couple days when we got back. It was a little rocky. Maybe we'll talk about that later, but, you know, but
Oh.
anyways,
Okay. Well, for us, I think. Well, you didn't answer the question. Was I like? Did I lose my cool? My coolness, because usually I'm like trying to be always like in control and not.
you mean your composure?
Yes.
I mean,
I mean,
it's not uncommon. You could lose your, but it's like, it's, I don't know. Like I'm not without me getting in trouble after the podcast. I mean, were you a
what are
little
you
more
talking
were you a
about?
little more fiery than you normally were? Yeah. Okay. How's that?
Okay, but I think folks also, as a middle-aged women, we go through stuff, Mike, and I'm pretty sure you're not the only one that's going through like, a spouse that's like middle age, probably things are changing because some of our friends have mentioned something like that you now have to deal with maybe your spouse like losing temper and the hormones and all that
I just
stuff.
go to work more often so I don't have to face that.
Go to work more often, or either that stay away, or I'll tell you what, how about you just say yes dear, yes dear. Don't argue.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes
ma'am.
ma'am.
You watch that chiropractor from Texas?
No, I know you watch that. You're talking
Yeah.
about, I can't watch that
Yeah, he's from
stuff.
Houston and he cracks people and they're like, oh, they're like in pain. And so he cracks them. He's like, yes, ma'am.
I can't watch that stuff. To me it sounds like it's gross
I
or
kind of like it,
something.
dude. I wish I could get cracked like that.
Oh, I don't know. No, I'm not into that stuff, so I don't know, that's not for me. um Things to talk about too is like what I've noticed are like the younger generation, Mike. And I think this is important for some of the folks out there. You guys need to understand that, how we were growing up back then is totally different now. I mean, I I don't know if it bothered you, Mike, but for me, for some reason, when I see the younger generation go out there, do their errands, wearing their pajamas, that bothers me, because to me, I'm thinking like that equals laziness. You know what I'm saying? And go ahead.
Hey, you're getting old.
Don't say that.
I'm getting old.
Don't say
Old
that.
people were saying the same thing about us when we were younger. Why are they wearing their hairs like that? Why are they wearing makeup? Why are they wearing their pants to this? There's always something that we didn't when we grew up. We grew up in the best generation. I mean, it's going to be like that. I'm learning to be more chill. I think you're starting to calm down a little bit. But pajamas, yeah.
Are you
Eh.
okay with that? Because I'm not.
I mean,
I just,
I, I,
I just think it's not professional looking.
I
You know
don't,
what I mean?
I don't think you're gonna be happy 100%. So as long as you're 80%, I guess you're gonna be good.
So you're saying, okay, so from what I'm understanding
Mm.
here, you're okay seeing kids, you know, out there on the street doing their errands, wearing their pajamas.
I'd rather see him doing that than friggin' doing other crap. That's all. You know what I'm
Oh, what
saying?
other crap? You
I
need to be
don't know.
specific.
Old crap. Like spinning their cars in the streets and hitting people,
Good.
just
That
dumb
never
shit, dude. Like
but
dumb stuff.
that never happened though. I mean,
What are you talking about?
that's what the 80s kids did,
No,
I
it's not.
think.
No, no, they don't.
And I have not seen while you did
I'm not
it,
trying to disagree. I'm not trying to argue on thing, but there's some dumb stuff on
like
TikTok.
do drugs and all that stuff. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know, just dumb like stuff like I don't know. Like that later on, they're gonna go back and watch their video and go, "We're some dumbasses back then, too."
Well, to me, I think it all boils down to the parents saying something about it. If it's not okay, then you need to voice things out. Like like today, hold on. Like today, we went out to dinner, and then obviously our little one, our youngest one, wants to wear just like a regular T-shirt, and it's an oversized T-shirt. It's totally like big on her, and she wore it all
Like
day.
Billie Eilish kind of stuff.
Yes, kind of like look. And then so we're supposed to go to this nice steak restaurant. So I made her change, and she looked at me and gave me this look or attitude. Like, I'm like, yes, you need to change. You're not coming with us if you're not changing. You don't look presentable to me. We're going to a nice steak place.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
You know, I mean, you got to say stuff, something at least. If you don't, then how do they know that what's appropriate and what's not?
Well, I mean, like you know what they say, right? Did you hear about the generations?
I heard so much about the
It
generation,
looks
the
like
younger
this
one.
looks like this the standing in the corner generation isn't doing as well as the generation that got their ass kicked and beat. I mean, basically what I'm saying is that when you were younger, you got smacked around a couple times. I mean, you got whacked by your mom or your dad here and there. You know what I mean? I'm not
Yeah.
talking abusive, but I mean, it was probably borderline abusive, but I mean, you learned to
You got
like,
spanked,
but you
Mike.
got corrected real quick. Today, I think the child has more control than the parent in a way.
That's true. I've seen that. I think most of the parents now they want I don't know what they're trying to do. I think they
Hey,
want
but not
be
our kids.
no,
I'll
no,
tell you
not our
what. I'm
kids.
still old school, but I didn't have to like. I'm not gonna lie. You spanked Avian a couple times. I did too. Triana, I don't think I really spanked.
She knows because she's like,
Gabby, I think I spanked like one or two times, but it's not like beat down spank. It's a
no,
swat. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like it was one of those. I'm not gonna lie about that, you guys. But I
I
don't beat
think
our kids,
I think
but
it's healthy
we
though,
correct them.
Mike. I mean, I don't want to interrupt you, but I think it's healthy to spank your kids once in a while. You want your kids to be afraid
Yeah,
of you because
some people disagree with this though.
I'm just saying you want your kids to be afraid of you because if you don't have your kids, to be afraid
No,
with you.
I don't think there's a. No, I don't think you mean to be afraid. I think it needs to be. It's called respect, right? They need some respect, right?
Well, respect
It's okay to
is
have a little. It is. You're right. There's a borderline of fear, but more respect,
yeah.
right?
I'm not talking about like afraid that they don't want to like open up to you or talk to you. I'm talking about they need to understand that hey, these are my parents. I need to respect them, and if I don't do stuff, if I don't do the things that they want me to do, as far as what's good for me or even chores, then I'm gonna get in trouble. That kind of fear, what I'm talking, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, you mean they're afraid of the circumstances that could happen beyond what their choices. That's when you're good teaching, the good parenting is about. It's like when you have your child thinking about the consequences
Yes.
of their actions,
Yeah.
right? Not somebody who's thinking, who cares, and goes, well, my parents ain't going to do much, so I'm not going to have that much consequences.
And you know what happens when the kids either doesn't know the consequences, then they do a lot of things that gets him in trouble, or they're not afraid of you and they're doing the things that you don't want them to do.
Mhm.
So there's only two things why they're doing the things that they're doing. You know what I mean? So that's why for me, I think the kids needs to like not just respect, to have a little fear about what they can and cannot do that their parents told them to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think a
Yeah.
lot of parents right now wants their kids to be like to be their friends. What do you think about that?
Oh, I disagree with that. I'm your dad. I'm not your friend. You know, I'm going to give you tough love, right? Because I want them to think. I don't like what Triana once in a while. Gabby, and Triana have all called me, dude, bro, yo. They said something
I've
like
never
that.
heard of
Oh,
that.
they have told me that. Like,
Like who, Avon?
yeah, hey, bro. I'm like, don't call me that.
Oh, okay. I know who that is now.
Don't call me that. You know, like I'm your dad. All right. So,
Well,
anyways, yeah.
well, what about those people that calls their parents, calls their parents not dad or mom, like actually with the name, like
Carl,
Mike.
my cousin, I did that before for a long time. Called his mom Cindy.
No way.
Yeah,
What, doesn't that sound different?
yeah. I don't care. I mean, I don't care if they want to
Or
say
just
that.
sound
No,
weird? To me,
no.
it sounds like it's weird.
Well, look. People bring up their kids a different way, right? I mean, I think there's in the 50s, you got your ass beat. Like
In
60s,
the
you
fo-
got your ass beat.
Mike,
70s, you got your ass beat. 80s, you kind of got your ass beat. 90s, you got stood in the corner a bit. Half the people you got your ass beat.
you get time out.
2000s, you get timeout. Right? 2010 and 20, you get your phone taken away. Right? And that hurts.
Grounded.
That hurts the kids, man. Like, right? Gabby, I'm like, yeah, you can't have your like I chopped her arm off or something, man. You
What
know?
about Triana? She's the same way. She can't live without her phone.
Oh yeah, that's the Achilles. Before it was like in my generation, you take the car away, you're done. Like because there was no cell phone, there was nothing. That was your freedom. It was your car. And that's why. Can you believe it? Like our kids didn't really want to drive when they were 16. We had to like force them to get their license.
Well, they have to, because I told him I'm not gonna take them everywhere. As a matter of fact, speaking of that, I know people right now. Their kids are in high school and they're still not driving, Mike.
Because things are too easy for them. Oh, I'll get dad, put some money on my card. I'll just use an Uber or give me an Uber thing and I'll put $100 on my Uber so I don't have to. I'm serious. They're like that.
I
Like,
know. No, no, no. I believe you because I know some people right now. I told you their kids are like either a senior or let's say a freshman in college and still not driving. And I'm like, what? How do they function? I couldn't wait when I was 15 or 16, to get my car and then drive and, have my freedom to go everywhere I want, anywhere but my house. You know what I mean? I was like,
I was busted out, dude. Like I was like, please pick me up. I was in the middle of nowhere in Vista, I was dying, dude. If I wanted to get out somewhere, I had to freaking get a
you were
skateboard.
shriveling like a
I
lizard.
had to walk, skateboard, or bicycle 5 miles before I saw freaking anybody in a different city. I mean, it was hard life, man.
You were
Like,
like shriveling like a lizard. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, it just sucks. I tell you that.
But well, see, that's what I'm saying. I mean, even though we are in a different time right now compared to when we were growing up, obviously we can't like totally expect our kids to have the same thing or follow the same thing we did when we were growing up. I still want to incorporate that to what we're doing with them. As they're growing up, they need to learn this stuff because if they don't, I don't know. I mean, I think I always have a fear that they don't know how to do stuff because if nobody teaches them, and I think that's what's happening with other kids, Mike. They're just learning from their friends. That's not a good.
well, you're in the now generation, right? You're like, I want it now. I don't want to wait for anything. I don't want to work for anything. I want the quick satisfaction, right now. Like,
You're talking about the me,
yeah,
like
it's kind of like
me. I want this and I want that, and
it's
it's
a
not a
yeah.
yeah.
Like you go on TikTok, right? If you go on TikTok or Instagram, any of these social media platforms, right? Videos taken over. Not just video; it's short form video.
Hmm.
Um, and you better entertain me. You better help me learn something, and it better be full of action. And if you don't have two or three of those ingredients, I'm swiping, right? And
Uh huh.
I need you to give me attention. That's basically what it is. And that's the what shall I say, that's the
That's the
mental.
downfall.
No, that's what they expect now, right? Like I like if you
That attention span is short.
well, yeah, but like
You the
let's
short
say,
attention span.
well, let's say, like for instance, work,
Uh-huh.
right? If you want to be good at something, it's gonna take time. It's gonna
Yeah.
take some time,
Yeah.
right? You're not gonna get it like tomorrow. I mean, very few, right? And that's the thing, poison thing about YouTube and stuff. And when you watch it, everybody's like, "Oh, you need 100,000 followers. You need to do this so you can do that." And it's this false advertisement about like, what you're gonna feel like. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And those feelings are gonna, like, you're gonna be popular. You're gonna feel this way.
I think I
I
think
don't.
I think
You and
right now
I,
you need 1 million in
dude.
order for you to be
It
popular.
doesn't matter. I don't. It. You know what? No, you're not, because the people who had zero, they said, "Oh, I feel popular when I have 50,000
Mhm.
subscribers." No, I'm going to feel even better when I have 100,000, or when I get that plaque or whatever. I can tell you right now, we got our YouTube plaque. We haven't even opened it.
No, we haven't opened it yet. Yeah. Well, because we're so busy too. But
Does it change? Does it
I
change? No.
well, I think here's what the problem is, Mike. Once you reach that 100,000 followers, you're like, okay, what's next? I think I need to move up. Like your expectation just got higher. And then you want like 200,000, 300,000, or like 1 million now. But before we got our 100,000 followers, we were thinking, oh, I'm going to do everything, this and that, so we can reach the 100,000 followers. So we have a different expectation now. So that's why I'm saying, when do you feel like that it's, enough and you're content? Because it seems like you just keep wanting more.
That's the word. You nailed it. When do you feel content? Right. I think that's what happens. A lot of people chase money. They don't realize they're actually trying to chase happiness, right? They think money is going to, like, turn
Change them?
turn them from what they feel now. I don't know if it was my mom or somebody told me. It's like, Michael, you're not gonna, if you're not happy with $10 in your pocket, you ain't gonna be happy with 100,000 in your pocket.
Hmm.
And I feel like that's true. I feel like the more money you can make, it it almost makes you feel sad, like worse, because if you don't know how to handle your emotions as you become more successful, and luckily we've done that, but I don't think it's easy as it looks. Everybody thinks that, like, people, you become successful, you think, wow, oh, Mike and Mary, they might be doing this level, or they have a certain amount of followers, or they do this. They must be really happy. They must be really think. But I don't think people understand that that's not what it was about the whole time. So
No,
I've
no.
yeah, it's about, anyways, it's, as long as you're passionate about what you want to do, I think you'll continue to be happy in the long run.
I think it's all about perspective, Mike.
Well, perspective and perception are two different things.
Yeah, I know that. But perspective is like you have to understand yourself and think that, you know what? Whether I have $50,000 in the bank or 200,000 in the bank, you should know that this stuff that you're doing shouldn't control your happiness. You yourself control your happiness,
Well,
you know?
that's the dangerous part about TikTok and all that stuff, is that people look at, let's say you are looking at me and you see all my followers and you see my videos, right? You have a perception that I'm
Must be nice to be
must be
nice
nice,
to have 100K
must be
followers.
awesome to have that, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. But it's
But
a
if you,
lot of work. They don't see that part.
but if you, if you go from perception to perspective, like if you get on my side and you put yourself in my shoes, and you say, wow, with those views, with that, you have a lot of responsibility. In the end of the day, do you want to do that responsibility? Do you really want to have Mike Toledo's responsibility, Mary Toledo's responsibility? Or is that just a perception? Which I think is, if you have to think both sides. And I think have if you can have an advantage of not only having, like, a perception, is everybody has a perception, but if you actually understand how to have a perspective. Mary, you perspect a lot. You don't have a perception about people. You actually dig further than what most people do, right? I give that to you. You may not know that, but you look at somebody, You might look at them at first, it's always first judgment of perception. But then let me get in your shoes. Now it's a perspective. You see what I mean? Let
Mhm.
me look at it from this guy's
Mhm.
point of view
Mhm.
instead of just let me look at it that way. What
Mhm.
I think,
Mhm.
but let me see what it's about.
You know what is that about, Mike? That's called understanding what life is about. Because when you're when you're trying to figure out what you want to do, or um, how you think about life, if you're not thinking about what your purpose is, really, because I feel like that everyone has a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever heard of, hey, you want to meet your soulmate, so that way your soulmate will be with you forever and ever until death, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've heard about that when you were growing up, right?
Yeah, I got one right in front of me. What you talking about?
Oh, you're smooth, Mike. You're smooth.
I'm not going to get in trouble on your own podcast. I'll tell you that.
so that's not a test. I'm just trying to ask you, really, if you've ever heard of that. People have spoken about it, like the elders. And I'm sure you had, because I had. But then I also heard something that everyone who's here has a purpose. And I'm not going to go cuckoo or anything like that. But I question, I question myself back in, I guess, in my 20s. Okay, why is that person that I know died and I'm still here? So maybe there's a reason why I'm here.
You'll never figure that out. That
But it's good to do an like a self reflection, though, Mike, because when you slow things down, life is going so fast, and the your surroundings also, and the people's around you is fast paced. It's going so fast. Sometimes you need to, like, just stop and self reflect, like look at yourself inside, have some introspective as to where you need to go, what you need to do, so that way you can have some intention of, like, for example, goals. You can't just, like, oh, okay, I want this, and this is, I think, how I'm gonna get there. But for me, it's more like, okay, I want to be in 5 years right here, and I have a plan, and I'm gonna work towards that, and I'm gonna discipline myself to work towards that. So the same thing with what I was telling you. If you already figured out what life is about, you kind of, like, have a thing that, when you see, it's weird, Mike, because when you see people and then they have their own issue and they have their own problem, and then you're looking at them, or especially me, I'm looking at them, I'm like, your problem is so easy to solve. I don't know why they can't figure that out. So sometimes I'll, like, butt in and put in my 2 cents, you know what I mean? But some people, really, I understood that they can't figure it out.
there's nobody's going to, like, I don't know. That's a pretty deep thought. Okay.
I knew you're gonna say
I'm
that.
just saying, like, some
I
people,
knew
like,
you're
I
gonna
look at
say
it, I'm
that.
like, dude,
I knew
I'm
you
gonna
were
go
gonna
nuts
say that.
trying to figure this out. Like, why did this person pass away? Why did that person pass away? Of course, I have my share of, like, questions, because I've had pretty few people very, very close to me, young, to me personally, pass away. But that's, I don't know. Like, you'll never get those answers until afterwards, I think, obviously. I think the best thing you do is just live life to the best you can, right? Don't think money is going to be the answer for yourself, right?
Well, there's always a saying, money doesn't solve everything, and the more money you have, the more problems you get.
Money brings the
I get.
opportunity, right? If you long as you understand it's a tool, it's not a it's not going to give you, okay, like, you win the lottery tomorrow, yeah, you have temporary feelings of, yes, I'm on top of the world. But why do so many people lose that money so fast too?
Because they don't know what to do with it. You know why? Because they went crazy. They think that, oh, money is gonna, like, solve their internal problem
That's what I'm
or
trying to talk about. That's
emptiness.
what I'm saying.
So,
So, but, like, people want to do paintless dent repair, right? They come into the business, they look at people doing hail, or body guys look at people doing hail, and they think, gosh, damn, that guy's making $100,000, 200,000 plus dollars a year. I want to do that. And they don't have, what they don't realize is that they're trying to chase the money, right? But if you don't have the perspective of being having some passion behind it, well, you're never going to make it the way you think you are.
Well, that's why I said you once in a while people really need to like just slow down and think things through because everything is going fast paced around us. Even our lives are going fast paced. If you don't slow down and try to like, just like I'm not saying analyze it, but I'm just like saying why things happen to you or why people around you are brought in your life, maybe to teach you some lessons or something. I don't know, or to like help you in the future. Haven't you noticed that? Like you'll meet somebody and then somehow you're like, oh yeah, da 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 da, something happened, and then you meet that person again like 3 or 4 years or 5 years down the line, and you're like, and then something happened. It's almost like, oh, this person is brought in my life for a reason. So that's why I'm saying, if people are not paying attention, like, I just talked to somebody recently actually, and people are like saying in our industry, this is the best hail season last year. And it's in, as a matter of fact, they still have like they still have a lot of works that they need to do. You know what I mean? Um, and I think it's gonna hail again because look at all the stuff that's going on right now in the Midwest and the South. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so I was like, I made a comment. I'm like, you know what? People really need to appreciate, because even though a lot of them, or I've heard people saying that, hey, this is what the problem is, everything is like expensive, inflation, blah 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 blah. But in our industry, the work is good, money's coming in, it's offsetting that, and if anything, it's more. You know what I mean? You have more
Well,
money to buy stuff.
people, but at the same time, that only lasts. Just like there's good years and there's bad years, right?
Yeah, but I think that is a message. If you like pay attention, it's a message from above. I'm not going to talk about religion or something like that, but it's a message from above saying that, look, I'm not going to put you guys in a situation you can't get yourself out of. Therefore, there's always someone up there who's going to have your back. That's what I'm saying. You just have to have faith.
But it also depends on your choice too, right? These guys, if you,
What you do with your money is your choice.
well, I'm talking about go and get it. These guys. There's people that complain every year that they didn't have a good hail season, but then there's the ones that freaking get money every year. Like they are killing it every year, no matter if
I
it's a
haven't heard that
general
one.
slowdown.
I
What do you
haven't
mean?
heard like people,
We need people that are killing it every year.
I know, but I haven't heard anyone that's like
2 years ago,
complaining that,
oh, 2 years ago, people were saying it was a bad hail season. All I'm saying is there's, same ones keep complaining. The hard worker ones, they always stay busy.
that's why maybe they need to do like a self reflection to figure out, hey, why am I different than this person who's really successful? Something is, and then another person I know is also successful.
But
Maybe
there's
something's not equaling.
there's two people in this world, Mary, and I told you that too. There's people who get it and people who don't. That's it. Just like, which one are you? That's it. You know.
Mm.
Then there's Mary, who's trying to figure like, why does he think like that?
No, that's not.
Why is
No,
he?
the problem with people, Mike, they go about living their lives, but they're really not thinking like, hey, look at the past, present, and the future. If you don't look at the past, present, and the future, you have no direction or where you need to go.
That's true, but I don't think you should dwell on the past, right?
No,
Because then you're going
no,
to live in
not.
the past,
But
right?
you need to learn from the
But I don't
past.
want. I don't think you should worry too much of the future either, because it kind of keeps you in the standstill,
That's
doesn't it?
called emotion, knowing how to control your emotion.
No, I know that. Yeah, but
You know.
I'm just saying that they have some direction. Okay, we got 3 minutes.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Here's the question. Question to you, Toledo. Because obviously I've known you for what, 22, 23 years. Do you realize, or have you realized that there's a change of your behavior from when you were younger and now? What have you learned about yourself? Because I'm
Uh,
pretty sure like
I hope
everyone should be
I
like
hope I've
thinking.
changed. I mean, gosh dang,
What
but
do you mean you hope? You should know.
no, I still working on myself. I think I'm impatient with a lot of things. I
Okay.
still think I'm 52 years old. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still impatient.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I got into PDR because I'm impatient.
I
And
know. I asked that myself too. You know why? Because I'm like, Mike is the type of person like he needs to move around. How in the hell he can sit there and like really fix this dent until like it's totally
I
gone
think
when you're like
that's what
when you
keeps
have
me.
ADHD. You know what
Well,
I mean?
that's what counters it though, because it
What?
no PDR. You can't rush paintless dent repair.
If that's the case,
You can,
okay.
but you're going to be doing it again.
Okay, why don't you change your perspective then or your perception? In that case, you have patience when you do PDR. Then why don't you now apply that to other things that makes you impatient?
You know what?
Then you that makes you a whole.
Today I've been trying to. I mean, I've been doing this whole week, this whole month. I was like, because when you say something to me, generally I'm like,
You're losing your
no,
temper
no. I just like quick worded, shall I say? You know what I mean?
or like a smart ass.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
but I've been learning to. Yeah, it's still early. Okay, it's 2024,
Well,
but
hold on. I want to interrupt you there.
you got 1 minute.
I just want to let you know
Battery's about to die.
that keep on trying and keep doing it because it's better. When you're actually having that control of your, when you're having control of your emotion, whether you do this or you do that, it's better. Your relationship is going to get better,
Yeah,
not just
no.
with me, with other people too,
Yeah,
even with your
well,
kids.
Joe and I were doing this very intense repair, and Joe noticed. He's like, "Dude, Mike, I've never seen you
Tell me,
so like focused
Mellow.
and like you're not like over anxious to like just get bush through this, dude." And I'm like, "Yeah,
So actually, Joe
well,
commented on that and noticed it.
yeah,"
He
because I said, "Joe, because we're getting paid pretty well, dude. I think we get paid pretty well to slow our roll." Joe's always like a real tentative,
he's
cautious,
very
slow, methodical
Joe is
way. You know what
Joe
I
is
mean?
very very analytical, Mike. Joe is very analytical. If you think I'm analytical, I noticed that of Joe when we had our first conversation. He
Yeah.
can go deep in a conversation.
Oh yeah, Joe can. Yeah, Joe like that's why Joe comes. I mean, anyways, I don't want to. That's a whole different subject because
Yeah.
I like it's we
But
we hit a milestone in what we did and obviously you were part of it. Joe gave you credit on that. Keith Constantino helped it. We had a little bit of everybody in that mix, so it was a team effort. Let's just put it that way. So,
it's teamwork for sure. Okay, so how many minutes do we have
30
left?
seconds.
Okay. I think what do you want to say?
It's your podcast. You say what you want
It's
to
no,
say.
no, no. I'm talking about we're gonna end it right here. Anything else that you want to say before we like wrap it
No,
up?
thank you for bringing me on. I love that. Like I thought this was a pretty good. I love that podcast. I thought it was a good.
Well, thank you for coming and or coming on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really
I know I
appreciate
had
it.
to drive really far over here, so it's late at night here.
No, but we did have to set this up, and it took you like 30-40 minutes. That's like work, which is
I'm
a
not
really
taking it down anytime soon, right now.
oh, that's good. I really appreciate it though. But anyway, folks, we're saying goodbye. Music
Oh,
assistant, come on.
Let me see here.
Mm. So we're saying goodbye here.
Hasta la vista.
Here at Mary Ann Apologetic.